Thank you so much for joining us for another edition of All Angles. I'm Dion Jax-Miller. In July, the Parliament began arguing about the procedure for tabling reports from the Auditor General and the Integrity Commission. Now, this was after the former Speaker of the House of Representatives Marissa Dalrymple Philibert, announced that she was going to be changing the accepted way in which Parliament had been dealing with these reports. They used to be tabled once they had been sent to Parliament, and she said this was because of how she interpreted the law. The controversy now has continued under the new Speaker, Juliet Holness, and the controversy is being compounded by her refusal to release a legal opinion on the matter by the Attorney General. In other words, what the Attorney General says the law is. We're looking at that issue, or maybe I should say those whole heap of issues on this edition of the program. We'll be hearing a little later from Opposition Member of Parliament Julian Robinson. We have in studio with us Daniel Archer, Principal Director of National Integrity Action, as well as Jeanette Calder, the Executive Director of Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal, JAMP. And before all of that, though, Andrea Chisholm has this overview.
On November 7, newly minted Speaker of the House of Representatives Juliet Holness made her ruling on the tabling of 4 different types of reports from the Integrity Commission. First up, reports done at the request of the House of Representatives or the Senate.
A report made on the request of the House of Parliament under Section 36(1). This report will be tabled as soon as possible, as the nature of the report is that it's a request from the Houses of Parliament. It will require the quick action of the members of the House of Representatives once it is submitted for tabling. After it is tabled, it is then to be directed to the attention of the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee.
Annual reports and special reports from the Integrity Commission will be sent to the Oversight Committee first.
Once the committee has completed its deliberation, both the reports of the committee and the relevant report from the Integrity Commission will be tabled thereafter.
The 4th report, reports from the Integrity Commission's Director of Investigations, will also be tabled as soon as possible. Now, the parliamentary opposition took issue with aspects of the ruling. For example, Opposition Leader Mark Golding said it's problematic to send Integrity Commission reports to its Oversight Committee before they are tabled.
So you could have a situation where a matter of public interest, a matter that is vital in terms of its impact on the governance of the country, is sent to Parliament, and because of this procedure, is sent to a committee without the members being aware of it, without the public being aware of it, because it's not tabled. And then the time frame for that committee to hear that matter is up to that committee to determine. I think that's a very unsatisfactory way of proceeding.
For Marlene Malahoo Fort, the Legal and Constitutional Affairs Minister,
I could almost shout hallelujah. I'm happy to be here in the House today to hear you as Speaker underscoring the importance of abiding by the law.
She went on to quote Standing Order 73D.
The Integrity Commission Oversight Committee shall have the duty of convening and considering a report submitted to Parliament under Section 36 of the Integrity Commission Act.
In arriving at the ruling, the House Speaker relied on not only advice from the Parliamentary Legal Counsel, but an opinion from the Attorney General. So, what did the Attorney General say? The parliamentary opposition pressed for answers, but the House Speaker did not budge. On November 14, MPs came to her defense.
Opinions of the Attorney General are not the opinions to the opposition. They are the opinions to the government. The opinion of the Parliamentary Council, the opinions of the Parliamentary Council are the opinions that can be tabled in the House.
Having received that opinion, the right and transparent thing to do would be to share it with the members of Parliament. The members of Parliament. Everyone here on both sides, whether you're government or opposition, is neither here nor there. It is an opinion that was rendered on an important procedural matter affecting the governance of this country and its Parliament. And we have a right as members of Parliament to know the contents of that opinion and whether or not the reasoning is sound as to how the change has been implemented, as to how these reports are to be treated with. My understanding is that it actually says that the prior convention was sound in law. There was nothing in the law that made it wrong for those reports to be tabled as soon as they come to Parliament. And if that is the case, why are we departing from a sound convention that is in the interest of good governance and transparency? And why would anyone want to hide the advice that the Speaker is relying on in making a ruling that affects all of us in here?
The Speaker can always seek advice, as the Speaker has done in asking for the advice of the Attorney General. And having received the advice of the Attorney General, the Speaker makes a ruling, and that ruling is final.
Okay, so let's start by asking you both to talk to me as if I'm 5. Why is this important? Daniel Archer, you first, before even we get into the to's and fro's and who is saying what. Why is this important?
If you base your opinion on something that the public doesn't know, can the public be educated? Can they be made aware of what the basis of your decision is? Government is not just for people who are in the know. Government is for all of us. So the decision, therefore, not revealing the information that you're making a decision on. So you give someone wholesome back. For the rest of us who don't know, we're going to ask you, why you never tell me? Why you keeping it? So if you're 5, that's what I'd say to my niece and my nephew. And they would say to me, but Auntie Dance, why you don't tell us what is there, why? And she's gonna, or he's gonna keep asking, why? No, so? So why we can't hear what the Attorney General said?
Jeanette Calder?
Yeah, my lens is similar to Daniel's, but I also have developed a strong sense of ownership around what government has that we call government. I've developed a stronger sense that there are 16 ministries of government that we, the people, have to fund. There are 11, I know there are 12 executive agencies. These are companies that serve us that we own. And there are public companies, some that we finance ourselves entirely, some that finance themselves, but we still own them. And how well they do directly impacts the quality of my life. They all provide public goods and services, yes? So how they are being run or not run is very important to me today and the future. Now, these reports are about how they inform our Parliament about how they're doing. I'm interested in that. So how the information flows from them, whether it's from them directly or the oversight agencies like the Integrity Commission and Auditor General, to the Parliament and then comes to the people, is really important. How many hands it passes through and how long it takes to get to me. And so this is what this whole discussion for the 5 months about. How they make the decisions for me, and to what extent do I get to access this information in a timely manner for me to assess what's really happening in government. Yeah?
I was watching your face while that report was playing.
Yeah.
And first of all, any specific response to the report and any issues raised in it?
Which report? You mean the
By
parliamentary?
Andrea, my apologies. The overview by Andrea.
I think the response to the report is disheartening. It's disheartening because we are now in a position where I am being told that the ruling of the Speaker is final in circumstances where there has not been full disclosure. Jeanette is right. We are talking about reports that touch and concern how monies are spent. We are talking about reports that come from the Integrity Commission through the Director of Investigations that is focused on public officials who are expected to conform to certain reporting obligations. Certain investigations have been done. I'm talking about their duty at large. We don't know what's in these reports. We have no clue as to what are in these reports. We don't know about the monies that are being spent. The purpose of these reports is to give the information to the public. When you tell me that there is going to be some delay in getting these reports, when you tell me that you do not wish, and for me, unlike Jeanette, my starting point is the opinion from the Attorney General.
The Speaker specifically said, though, that, and so did the former Speaker, that they're guided by the law, they're following the law. The current Speaker said that she took exception to what she called the narrative that there's an intent to delay publication of the reports. And we also heard the Legal and Constitutional Affairs Minister get up and applaud the Speaker, saying the importance of following the law.
All right.
And both former Speaker and current Speaker have been stressing that they believe that what they're doing is in accordance with the law. Mrs. Dalrymple Philibert had said that it didn't matter if Parliament had been doing something for how long. If it was not in accordance with the law, she intended to change it so that she was following the law. Yeah. So what's wrong with that? That sounds completely logical.
Okay, great. What's your basis for following the law? You take instructions, or you get advice, or you look at precedents, correct? How do you get that? How do you craft that view? Do we get up in the morning and decide, I had a dream last night and this is the law? Or do you go to some manual, some book, some legislation, and that guides you? If I am correct that the thing to do, which is you are unclear as to whether the law is being followed as it ought to have been, is to obtain an opinion from an individual or entity that is obliged to provide you with a report or an opinion that is unbiased, that is focused on the law. The Attorney General's chambers, through the Attorney General, or the Attorney General through the Attorney General, rather, provides advice to ministries, departments, and the government. What we must appreciate, which I think is where we seem to be going, is that the advice that the Attorney General provides is exclusive for the government party, and not government as in Parliament, which includes Politics 101. Government is what? The elected officials, the Parliament, the government, and the opposition side that makes up Parliament. That's government. And the Attorney General provides an opinion. That opinion is going to be grounded in law. That opinion, from my experience, is going to be based on precedent and an assessment or an analysis of what obtains. If you wish for me to understand and to accept your position, that this is interpreted and this is the best position, I ask that you share with me, as you had said you would have when former Speaker said, I don't know, so let me get the opinion. Can I have a look at it? Why can't I see it? I disagree fundamentally that the opinion is only for government, meaning the party.
Okay, so let's interrogate that one. Jeanette Calder, let me bring you in here because, and just to be clear for our listeners, so the Speaker has shared the opinion of Parliament's lawyer.
Parliamentary Council.
The Parliamentary Council, but not the opinion of the Attorney General. So why are y'all not satisfied with that?
I wasn't happy with the process. I really thought that the opinion of the Parliament's lawyer should have been tabled. And I don't want people to think that this is just some obscure parliamentary term. When I learned that tabling meant when something is laid in the House and tabled, it signals to the public that document is available to them pretty much immediately. I used to think, Dion, it was for you and the parliamentarians. And when I learned that, no, I reminded myself that the Parliament is the people's house, and the 63 or 84 sitting there are representing us. So when a document is laid on the table, it's actually belonging to the people of Jamaica. So first of all, if that advice, if that legal opinion was laid, every Jamaican would have been entitled to it, and we would have gotten it immediately, and so would you. You didn't. It was only sent out to the parliamentarians after 4 o'clock, after work hours on Friday. So the process to me was not what I had expected. However, there is also something inappropriate and further, I would say improper and inappropriate about our depending solely on the Parliament's legal counsel without the benefit of the Attorney General.
I'm going to ask you to hold on because
Sure.
I am going to come back to that point, but we have to take a break. So let's take the break. And I should just say before we take the break that we did in fact invite a number of government representatives to join the discussion. We're unsuccessful. We had asked the Speaker herself. She indicated to us that she would not be speaking on the issue. She suggested government MPs Dwight Sibbles as well as Tamika Davis. We tried to reach them, didn't get a response. Acting Leader of Government Business Delroy Chuck said he had a previous engagement. Information Minister Robert Morgan said he was unavailable. Let's go to the break. Remember our WhatsApp line 3810072 or hashtag on X TVJ All Angles. We'll soon come.